You know, would you let anybody come into your house and behave that way, or into your company and behave that way, or at a conference, or?
No.
We just don't behave that way.
I'm so grateful for you sharing this, because for me, I have heard, oh, Sarah Jane's in her feelings. So when you're telling me that I have to tell her how I feel,
Right.
that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
But I know it's what I need to do.
Feelings are important.
And I'm trying to be so professional. And so where's the line between being professional and saying how you feel?
What do you want to work on?
I would love to work on how to get a really strong board of directors to collaborate together with all kinds of different personalities.
Okay. So what's going on with it currently?
So currently we have some board members that have been around for a while. There's a couple that have been around for a while. And then the rest of the board is fairly new in the last 2 to 3 years. And those who've been around longer are struggling with the new ways and the direction we're going in, and they are very vocal and are in their approach have a hard time. One of them is quiet and is talking behind people's backs, and the other one is very vocal in meetings and is attacking people.
Right, so there's a little bit of kind of unprofessionalism going on, right? Which is why they have term limits usually on boards, right?
Correct.
So describe what outcome you want.
The outcome I want is that every board member is able to have a voice, not afraid to speak, share what's on their minds on the subject matters that we're talking about to advance the nonprofit in the direction that it needs to go to.
So the assumption I have here is that because of this underlying conflict or bad behavior, board members are not speaking, or that's a different thing?
Yes, there are some board members that are not speaking and share that with me after meetings, that they won't say anything because they don't want the wrath.
Okay. So what do you think, you've done some things for this already? What have you done?
After one particular meeting where things got pretty tense, the board member left immediately when the meeting was done, did not give me an opportunity to talk with her at all. And so the next morning I sent her an email letting her know that I understand that she's passionate and we're all passionate, and that, that the way she approached needs to alter so that everyone feels more comfortable and the tension not be so high in a boardroom.
All right, so in that moment when it happened, how did you feel about it? What were you feeling?
I was feeling, let's see, what I was feeling was trying to hear her voice and trying to hear the other person's voice and trying to find a way to get them both to not be so tense, to calm down a little bit. And I interrupted the back and forth a little bit.
So you tried to be a savior.
I did.
But that's not a feeling. So what were you feeling?
Like it was out of control.
And what's that make you feel like? And how do you think those other people felt?
Right. Insecure.
Yeah. What else? Say more.
Insecure, frustrated.
Right.
I would say almost sad, because it's such a phenomenal group of people, and that I felt like I wasn't doing my job.
So you felt like you're
inadequate.
Yep. Inadequate, right. So what do you think this person was feeling? I mean, if we can't project, but if you could project, what do you think that person was feeling?
That she had to be so vocal to hide her own insecurities and her own lack of doing her own research in what we were discussing.
So how do you think she felt about that?
Pretty upset.
I mean, that's pretty tough, right? I mean, I feel like that is sad. Yeah. So you both kind of all, you already know, like you kind of have the lay of the land, but why, you know? So you sent an email, and the email was, listen, you know, polite, and this is what we want to do, this is our expectations. And it still hasn't changed, or it's different now?
We haven't had a meeting since. Actually, we did have a meeting and she did not come.
So now she's avoiding.
She's avoiding. And she wanted to also avoid our big event. And we had other board members that called her and reached out to her and had her attend the event.
Yeah.
Our big annual fundraiser. And that evening, I made sure that I connected with her on a very casual basis and tried to find things in common. And she was great. She was really great at the event. And it'll be interesting the next couple meetings how things turn out.
All right, so what I hear from you saying is, I try to save her. It's embarrassing to me, it's upsetting to me, I feel inadequate, that people don't feel psychologically safe. It's not a good situation. She's going through something, we don't know, but she's got to feel pretty crappy about it too, right? So we got all that. And then you're trying to save it. You're a savior. You're a, you're going to come in and save the day. You're going to say the right thing, you imagine, and it's not really doing anything. So what if you would have changed from being the savior to being like, if she's your true friend, which she's not in this case, but try to think of that as her being your true friend. What would you do?
I would ask her what's going on. I would ask her if there's something going on in her life and what is it that is upsetting her.
Right, okay. So you can go as far as you want into someone's life, I think that's fine, but just, if you're going to be a friend, you're going to, but my point is, you're going to be a friend means you're going to address it.
Correct.
You're not going to send an email or talk to other people about it.
Correct.
You're going to address it right away because that's what friends do, right?
Correct.
So if we really care about people, we're going to be honest with them about stuff.
Right.
So if I say to you, I want you to walk into her office right now and have a conversation with you, what comes up for you?
What comes up, my heart rate goes up a little bit, and also excitement because I've been trying to meet with her since September.
Awesome.
And she has blown me off and does not want to meet with me or give me the time. And I would love to just have a face-to-face, eye-to-eye conversation with her to get to know her.
I would love to have a face-to-face, that's awesome, right? But it does feel scary. It's
Yes.
like a wild animal. We don't know what's going to
Yes.
happen. All right, so let's go through the situation. So let's say that she is, and I'm only focusing on this because I think there's a little fear involved, right? Let's say that she's, what do you think's going to happen when you go to her with that stuff? You go to her and say, what's going on, or however you want to phrase it. What do you think she's going to say? What's your imagination tell you?
My imagination tells me that she will be very guarded, in that I will have to ask a lot of questions and share a little bit about who I am to connect with her.
All right. So what if I was to tell you that I don't want you to engineer it?
Okay.
This is not fancy. This is
Yep.
nothing complicated.
Yep.
What's going on for you? That's it. She's going to make excuses. She's going to talk about something else. She's going to tell you all the things wrong with her life. And then you're going to say, how can we be better?
Right.
And then she's going to talk some more. And so that's probably what's going to happen. The fear of her getting upset, slamming something and walking out, okay, if she walks out, that's the end of that, right? But you've made clear how you feel. You've protected your own safety, right? If she gets mad and starts yelling or really behaves badly, you just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna leave. But if you could just hold someone's hand, metaphorically, right, for a little while, and show that you care, she's either going to reject that or she's going to embrace it. If she can embrace it and you can hang in there long enough, you might find out she doesn't want to be there anymore. You might find out that she, who knows, right? So this is the thing. You're leading this group, right? Leadership is really about caring for people, right? But we confuse caring for people with being polite or just being nice, right? But the fact is that this is causing really big challenges for the organization.
Yes.
Right. So just tell me how you're internalizing this and how you're taking this.
I love what you're sharing. I would love an opportunity to speak with her, and I would love an opportunity to be able to listen to her. I think we would make lots of progress with that opportunity. Where I struggle is how do I get her to meet with me?
Right, how are you going to do that? Okay. All right.
And what I was trying to do is build rapport in order to get her to have lunch with me or go have a coffee with me.
But I think that's kind of disingenuous, isn't it? I don't know, maybe it's not. I'm gonna trick her into talking to me.
I don't know that it would be trick her, but it would be building some kind of rapport with her in order for her to be more open and
Right.
not so guarded, right? And if you're more
So-
open
so
and less guarded,
Maybe she has a problem with you then,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. So you feel somewhat intimidated, but also excited. So what do you need to have this conversation, and when are you gonna have it?
I need to have it now.
But you're gonna wait for her to approve it.
Right. So how do I do that?
Well, I can tell you, but I want you to imagine what you would do. Let's say you leave here today and you say, what you said, I'm excited to have the conversation, I need to have it right now. So go ahead, proceed like that. What are you gonna do?
I'm
You
gonna-
wait for her to go to lunch with you?
No. I could give her a call on my way home when I leave here and see if she answers.
All right, and what would you say to her? Practice with me.
So, hey girl, how are you? Would love to just talk to you about what is going on, and would love to have a conversation with
All
you.
right, stop.
Yeah.
I want you
I
to
need-
you're on the phone with her, tell her how you feel. Which
Okay.
is what you told me. Tell her how
Okay.
you feel.
Okay. All right. So,
You're protecting your own safety here.
yes.
How do I feel?
Yes.
And I think you feel this way. So say, I feel this way, I think
Okay.
you feel this way. Am I wrong?
Okay.
Try that.
Okay. So I want to just let you know that over the last few meetings, I feel that I am not in control of the meetings, and that there is something going on that I'm not aware of, and it is really hard to get the entire board to collaborate together in my position as the president when some people won't voice their opinions, and that's really frustrating for me. And I would love to hear what's going on with you, because I feel that maybe you are not feeling like you're being heard and your voice is being heard, and so you're using a lot of tone during meetings to get your voice across.
All right, Sarah Jane, that's awesome. You're very professional. You just covered it all in a very professional way, like we're lawyers in a courtroom, right?
But
Tell me, person to person,
yeah,
what you want to say. And say it with a little bit of like,
right.
measure. This is important. Like,
Right.
not just like,
Right.
I'm going through the motions, I've already checked with HR, I know what to say. But say, what would you say? Say it again.
So I just want to let you know that what happened in the last meeting is just so inappropriate, and we can't have that kind of environment at our board meetings. It left many board members.
How did it make you feel? Forget the board
Okay.
members.
It made me feel like it was completely out of control, and it made me feel frustrated that we couldn't collaborate
All
together.
right, now tell her what's going on. So, but I think you probably feel the same way, right?
I imagine you're feeling similar to the way I am feeling.
Right. Now let's stop. That's it. She's going to go on. She's going to process this in her own way. Not necessarily bad. She's just going to process it. Now she's either going to, if she rejects it out. The thing is, this is the thing. If someone is acting like kind of like aggressive, which it sounds like, right? They're really not. They're really soft. They're really vulnerable. They need permission to be vulnerable. You're going to give her that permission. Now, if she still can't do that, it's out of your control. And then you could take, I mean, if you're the board chair, or the president, or whoever, if you're a senior person on the governance committee, I think you need to talk about it as a governance committee and decide what to do. I mean, would you let anybody come into your house and behave that way, or into your company and behave that way, or at a conference, or
No.
we just don't behave that way. And this, believe it or not, I don't want to lecture you here, but you're not helping her by enabling her. Now it's scary because we might affect her life. We don't want her to get, more in in a bad place, right? So we sit with them, but we can be firm with that. Now, I know that you're saying yes, but it's uncomfortable. And so I'm saying firm from a position of care, and be honest about how you feel, and try to give her an opening to tell how she feels. And then you can start the dialogue. And if it doesn't work, then you have another responsibility.
I'm so grateful for you sharing this, because for me, I have been a very emotional person growing up, and I have heard, oh, Sarah Jane's and her feelings. And I've always been very upfront and honest, and I have just heard that so much that I have tried to not share my feelings, because it was a derogatory thing,
Right.
with Sarah Jane's and her feelings. So when you're telling me that I have to tell her how I feel, that's
Right.
really hard for me.
Yeah. But
But I know it's what I need to do.
feelings are important. It's the whole, look, we don't, what makes you wonderful is the fact that you're so human.
Right. And I'm trying to be so professional. And so where's the line between being professional and saying how you feel?
You told me earlier there was 3 Sarahs.
Yes.
What are they?
There's survival Sarah Janes, there's fun Sarah Janes, and then there's business Sarah Janes.
So what's survival Sarah Jane's like?
Survival is when my husband would be deployed, and I have 4 children who are very active, and I had no patience and was very tired, and all I did was scream.
Yeah. Did it work sometimes?
It did.
Okay. Right.
It did.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to go scream, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
You can be firm.
Yeah.
You and your board do not deserve this,
Right.
and it's your responsibility to stand up to that. And if this is all about feelings,
Right.
And by the way, the fact that you have this strength, this is a strength if you have all these feelings, because you see more than other people do. You empathize with everybody in that room. And the challenge with being an empathetic person like that is you carry that with you, right? But you also have the power to say, no,
Right.
I deserve certain things too, and my people deserve certain things too. So, all right, so what are you going to do? You're going to call her on the way home?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're going to call me and tell me what happened,
Okay.
right?
That sounds great.
Okay, good.
Thank you for holding me accountable.
Good, okay, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you. This is wonderful.